Welcome to yoga. Today we're going to be doing some core work, some abduction of our legs, our hips. Last week we did adduction. So let's get going. You can begin seated or supine for your centering. Actually, come down to your back. Let's all start laying on our backs, supine. So stretch out in a shavasana posture. Just relaxed. Feet can fall out, arms by your side. Close your eyes. And begin your journey inward. So the little theme that I had in my head for this week was, when someone says to you, "Are you out of your mind?" And actually, usually that means kind of like, "Are you crazy?" But in yoga practice, that's exactly where you want to be, is out of your mind. So from the thinking mind into the sensations of the body, the feeling mind, feeling not only body sensations, but emotions and just the environment around you and anything that doesn't have words attached to it. So close your eyes and begin to travel inward. Scan your body. Just notice any areas of tension. Try to release where you can. Notice if your mind is busy. Notice your breathing. Just see what your baseline is, where you're starting your practice today. We're going to begin with a very simple pranayama, belly breaths. So you might want to put your one hand on your belly. You want it to be soft, so relax all the muscles there. And begin to breathe, begin a slow, deep, even breath so that your belly rises. So you're thinking, imagining bringing the breath right down to your belly. Belly puffs up a little bit, just with the pressure of the diaphragm on your organs and down there. And then as you continue the inhale, the rib cage expands. So what's really happening is you're obviously not breathing into your belly. You are breathing into the bottom of your lungs. You're getting a full expansion of your chest area, which creates the force to bring in more air deeper, all the way down to the bottom of your lungs. So, and then the exhale is as complete as the inhale. So just for a minute or so, just do some nice, slow, deep belly breaths, full breath. Full inhale, full exhale. This expands, the lungs are elastic. This creates expansion, full expansion of the lungs. Keeps them flexible. Just allows more air to be brought in distributed throughout your body. So just see if you can make this a meditation also. Keep your focus right on that breath. Follow the breath as it moves through your body. Belly rises, chest expands all the way up to your collarbones on the inhale. And on the exhale, everything recedes back towards center, relaxes. Make sure you're not gathering tension anywhere else in your body, your face, your jaw, your neck. Keep that relaxed. About half a minute more. Just focus on the breath. Keep coming back to it if your mind wanders. Few more rounds. And then release the pranayama. And take a few moments based on what you saw in your body scan, what you learned from looking inward, to create an intention for your practice today. Positive affirmation or intention, something you'd like to come away with. And seal that into your brain. Let it go, but you can come back and visit your intention during practice if you need a little motivation, a little refocusing. And now remove any props from your mat, and we're going to begin practice supine. So we're already there. So from Shavasana posture, just wake up your body, come into a reclined mountain pose. So flex your feet, spread your toes, broaden your foot base, Pada Bandha, and lengthen out gently through the bottom of your feet. Bring your arms up overhead, palms face up, broaden your finger base, Hasta Bandha. Reach gently back through your fingertips so you're stretching in two directions. Keep breathing, not belly breaths, but a slow, deep, even breath that you can maintain with the practice, a little less full than the belly breaths. And now on the next exhale, bring your arms down by your side and bring your knees up over your hips. So it's like you're sitting on a chair, and the back of the chair is your mat. And bring your right knee in toward your chest, push your left foot away. Begin to make bicycles. So you're pedaling a bicycle. Right knee in, so one leg comes in, the other leg goes out. So flexing one hip and knee, extending the other. Slow circles. Make sure your core is engaged. So your navel is drawing in and up, lower back pressed toward the mat. So we're warming up the core here. And then pause and begin to bicycle the other way. So as if you were pedaling backwards. Keep the core active. And then bring that to stillness. Bring both feet to the mat by your hips. And then reach both legs up toward the ceiling. Feet are flat, so press your feet up toward the ceiling. Bring your arms up toward the ceiling. Rotate your ankles, rotate your wrists in both directions. Flex and extend. And then bring your arms up overhead. You can interlace your fingers with your index finger pointed up, or just any clasp of the hands that feels good. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees out to the side, so you're coming into a bound angle on your back. Take an inhale, lengthen out through your fingertips. Exhale, bring your belly in, raise your upper body up, and draw your hands through the diamond shape between your knees. Inhale, arms down, legs stay the same. Exhale, lift. So some crunchies. Think of moving your chest through your legs. And continue to lengthen through the crown of your head, so your spine isn't rounding so much. Inhale down, exhale up, a couple more. And then the next time you come down, lower your feet to the mat, hug both knees into your chest, hold around your shins, the thighs, and rock right and left. Then cross your ankles and rock up and come around to an all-four posture. Tabletop. So spread through your finger bases, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Press down through the tops of your feet. Once you have a good stable foundation, begin cat-cow movements. So inhale, belly drops, tailbone up. Exhale, round your back, spinal flexion. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round your back like a cat. And just move slowly, gradually warming up the spine, creating space between the vertebrae. Not forcing it, but letting it happen gradually and moving with your breath. And now come back to neutral, tabletop. Long spine, lengthen out through the crown of your head, out through your tailbone, press down through your hands, through the tops of your feet, your knees. And on an inhale, take your right leg back, flex your foot, leg is parallel to the ground. Exhale, knee to nose. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale with the right leg. Inhale back, lengthen out. Exhale, knee to nose, round your back. 1 more time. Inhale. And this time, when you bring knee toward nose, pause and take a couple breaths in held posture. Slow, deep, even breaths. Then inhale, right leg back, foot is flexed. Exhale out to the side, knee toward elbow. 2 more times. Inhale straight back. Exhale to the side, knee to elbow. This time, third time, hold with the knee toward the elbow. Take a couple of slow, deep breaths. And then third time, straighten your right leg out, point your toes, cross the right leg over the left, and turn to look at the right foot. 2 more times. Stretch that leg back with pointed toe. Exhale, cross it over, turn to look. Third time, stretch. This time, hold. Breathe right up the right side. Then come back to all fours. Bring your hips back over your heels in child's pose. Just take a few breaths in child's pose. Let everything sink down into the mat. Circle out your wrists if your wrists were getting sore. Then inhale back up, and we'll do the same sequence to the other side. So inhale, left leg back, foot is flexed. Reach out through that foot. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back. Exhale, round your back. And this time, third time, knee to nose, hold for a couple breaths. And then inhale, lengthen, exhale, knee to elbow. 2 more times. On the third time, hold for a couple breaths. Last sequence, lengthen out your left leg, point the toe, cross it over. 2 more times. Third time, hold, breathe, couple breaths. Come back to all fours. Take your knees out to the edges of your mat for wide-legged child's pose. So push yourself back. Rest your head on your arms or have your arms out in front of you. Relax into child's pose. Wide legs. So this is the first place where our legs are abducted. Now come on back up to tabletop. Walk your hands forward about 1 hand length. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. We're gonna come down, leaving our hips are gonna come down last. So keep your elbows right next to your body and slowly lower so your chin and your chest come down first, and then lengthen out. Stack your hands one on top of the other and rest your forehead on your hands for a couple breaths. Now come up to your forearms, and we're going to come into a dolphin plank. So you can either have your forearms and palms on the mat like for Sphinx, or I like to clasp my hands. So get that foundation. Your elbows are under your shoulders. Now this is strong core. So tuck your toes, come up, bring your body up, strong core. Inwardly rotate your thighs. Lengthen out through your heels, through the crown of your head. You don't have to grasp tightly your hands. Your face is relaxed. Breathe. Come in and out as you need to. You can always come down, rest your forehead on your hands, come back up. Stay with your breath. So slow, deep, even breath. Few more seconds. You build this strength one breath at a time. Then come down, rest your forehead on your hands again, bend your knees and move your knees, your legs side to side in a prone windshield wiper. And then bring that to stillness. Come back up onto your forearms. We're not going to do another dolphin plank. We're going to do actual dolphin pose. So tuck your toes. Actually, it might be easier to come to your knees. So come to your knees and have your hands in the same position they were for dolphin plank. And once you're on your knees, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. So it's like a downward dog on your forearms. And then you can see about walking your feet a little bit closer to your elbows. And come forward. It's the same action as downward facing dog. So your chest is moving back toward your thighs. But your neck is loose. You can bend your knees and then slowly straighten. So notice how this is different, how it feels different from down dog. To me, it's stronger in the shoulders. Now come back to your knees. Bring your hands out in front of you and tuck your toes and come up into a regular downward facing dog. Walk your feet and hands together and come into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Start with your chest right down on your thighs. And you might stay here, or you might want to gradually straighten your legs a little or a lot. Come into whichever version of Uttanasana, standing forward bend, is right for you today. It feels good. Let the weight of your upper body just lengthen out your low back. This is a good counter pose for almost anything. You can move in it or be still. And then press into your feet, come all the way up to standing. And into mountain pose. So build your mountain pose, always starting at the base, your foundation. Spread your toes. Find your balance on the four corners of the feet. And then work your way up, just making sure that your hips are aligned over your ankles, ears over shoulders, over hips. Make sure your chest is open, arms externally rotated. Lift up through the crown of your head. Lengthen the spine in two directions, just like when we were on our back. Out through the feet, up through the crown of the head. Close your eyes if you have the balance. and reconnect with your breath. Relaxed face, relaxed jaw and neck. Let your shoulders come even a little, shoulder blades a little closer on the back, but down from the ears. Slow, deep, even breath. What are you feeling in your body right now? Let go of any extra tension, gripping. Just let everything flow. And now gently open your eyes. Keep your palms spread. Keep pressing down through your feet. We'll do some sun breaths. So inhale, arms up, palms touch. Exhale, palms down and around to heart space. Easy, one breath vinyasa. Really stay with the breath. Follow it all the way through. Flow. Feel all parts of your body working together. Smooth. And this time, next time your hands come up, pause. Clasp your fingers and press your palms up, or you can clasp your fingers and point up with your index fingers. Any hand position, your arms can even be just shoulder width apart, as long as you keep your fingers spread and active. Take an inhale and lengthen up and down. Exhale, side bend to the right, pressing into the left foot a little more. Inhale up, exhale, side bend left. Make sure aim to have your arms stay near your ears, not moving forward, not moving back. Inhale up, couple more movements, side to side. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, breathe right into that stretch all the way up the side. This time, next time you go to the right, pause. Keep the posture, keep pressing into the left foot. Keep bringing that right shoulder back, left shoulder back, and keep breathing. 2 breaths. And inhale back to center, exhale to the left. 2, 3 nice deep breaths. Inhale as always, lengthen. Exhale, perhaps a little deeper. Inhale back to center. Hands down and around. And we're going to get a little bit more warmed up with some half sun salutations with chair. So like with the sun breaths, let your movement be informed by your breath. So inhale, your arms go up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as is good for you. Inhale up through chair. Exhale all the way up. So try to make this very smooth. Move in time to your breath, not my words, or not what I'm doing. Smooth, flowing like the water element. Be immersed in the vinyasa, immersed in the movement of your body. All your attention inside. Following the breath. You might even begin to feel a lightness, a joy even, a joy in the movement. No resistance. And the next time you come to standing, just come back to your mountain pose. See where you are. Reconnect with your breath, reconnect with your body. Notice energy flowing through. How does that feel? Is it like a little prickly sensation, a warmth? How does energy feel in your body? And then let your eyes open, and we're gonna do some balance. So you might want to step off your mat if it's too cushy. I had 2 mats, I'm going to go on to 1. So start with your feet hip width apart or a little closer. Hands can be on your hips or out by your side. Let the weight come into your left foot, come onto your right toes. So find the balance here. Find your drishti, your gaze point that's not moving. Firm up your little light activation of your core. And then we're going to tap our right toes out in front and to the right side and behind, and then the right knee up. So just do this tap toe a few rounds. If you feel the balance is good, you can hover your toe instead of touching it down. No rush. Keep breathing. One more round. And this time, when your right knee comes up, pause there. You can rotate your ankle, flex and point. And then we're going to move into crane pose. If you're ready for that, it's just arms out to the side, slight bend in the elbow, and let the wrist hang limp. It's supposed to be the wings. Last week we did eagle. This is crane. You know how they stand in the water looking for that fish or whatever to go by. And then let your right leg come down, shake out your left leg, take any movement to let go of tension that's accumulated, and we'll try that to the other side. So weight goes into your right foot, up on your left toes. First, get your balance here. Don't rush it. And remember, smile. Have a playful, curious attitude. You're building balance no matter how many times you come out. Come out, go back in. Tap front, side, back, knee up. And when you want to try holding that left knee up, perhaps bringing some movement into the ankle. Ankles are really important in standing balance. And then as you're ready, add your wings. Looking softly at your gaze point, waiting for that fish to swim by. And then let the left leg come down, shake out your right leg, hula around, and turn to face the long edge of your mat. Step your feet wide apart. Toes are pointing forward, maybe slightly turned in, but not turned out. And inhale, lengthen up. through the crown of the head and down through both feet. Begin to bend forward at your hip creases, keeping your back long and straight. You can have a block here. Bring your hands to a block. So before you fold down all the way, get as much length, get as much folding with a straight back as you can. You might want to walk your feet out a little further as you come down. And then you can bring your, when you get all the hip flexion you've got, you can round your back a little bit and come forward down. Wide leg forward bend. Prasarita Padottanasana. Hear that word pado, foot. And now walk your hands, keep your hips right over your ankles, but walk your hands out in front. Wide leg downward dog. So let your chest move toward your thighs. Lengthen out through your hands, through your arms, through your feet. Tailbone reaches up. The legs do not have to be straight. Don't lock your legs. Let your chest fall through your shoulders. Beautiful shoulder stretch. And then walk your hands back between your feet. Maybe heel toe your feet a little closer together. Bring your hands to your hips. And lengthen up with a strong, flat back. Come all the way up to standing. Bring your arms out to the side, shoulder height. And now lengthen up out in 5 directions. So down through your feet, out through your fingertips, up through the crown of your head. Now bring your hands to your heart space. Lift your left heel and pivot it back toward the back corner of your mat. Pivot on your right heel so your right toes come toward the front edge of your mat or short edge of your mat. Bring your right knee over your right ankle. So adjust your stance so your knee can come right over the ankle, not beyond. You can still see the toes of your right foot. Shoulders are squared to the long edge of the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, arms straight out. Look, take your gaze over your right finger, warrior 2, but we're going to do some dynamic movement before we hold. So inhale back to center, gaze toward the front. Exhale, gaze over the finger, arms out. A couple more times like that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. This time hold your warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Pressing down into both feet. This is an open hip posture. This left leg is internally rotating, the right leg is externally rotating. Spine is rising right up through the middle of your pelvis. You can check to see if your back arm is level. Couple more breaths. Stable, easy. Let go of any effort not needed to hold this pose. And then inhale, bring your hands back to heart space, feet back to parallel, and we'll try warrior 2 on the other side. This time your right heel goes back toward the corner of your mat, left toes toward the short edge, left knee right over the ankle, shoulders squared. So the right shoulder is going to want to come in, so you're going to pull it back gently. Hands to heart space. A couple times moving. Inhale. Gaze and arms move. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time hold your warrior two. Think of your spine rising right up. You can think of it as the present moment. The left arm leads to the future, right arm leads to the past, but we're right in this moment. Reconnect with your breath. One more breath. Inhale, arms to heart space. Your feet together. Walk your feet all the way together. And we'll do a couple rounds of half sun with your breath. Flow, smooth, no resistance, like water flowing over the rocks. And the next time you come into a forward bend, pause there. Bend your knees deeply. Bring your hands to the mat. Step yourself back into down dog. Regular down dog. So we've done dolphin, which is a forearm down dog. We have done a wide leg down dog. And this is a regular down dog. Bring your knees to the mat. Come onto your seat. Legs out in front. You can sit on a blanket if you want to raise your hips up a little more. We're going to do some forward bending from a seated foundation. So if you need a little, give your hips a little head start. If your hamstrings are a little bit tight, that's perfectly great thing to do actually. So Dandasana, staff pose. Flex your feet, so toes come back. Press out gently through the bottoms of your feet, hands down by your hips. If you have short arms, or you can put a block here, or just lightly press into the mat to help lift your spine up nice and tall. Take a few breaths here. And then take your feet wide apart. Here again, you might want a block. So spread your feet wide. And make sure your toes are pointing up, so your legs aren't externally rotating, so toes stay up. Lengthen up through the crown of your head, press down through your sit bones. Now you can, on each exhale, as you pull your belly in, you might be able to walk your hands out in front a little bit or slide them down your legs, but you're not going to want to round your back. So keep your spine straight and tall. All the flexion is happening at your hips. So it doesn't matter how far you get, just you're going to feel the stretch up the back of your legs. Inhale, lengthen. Every inhale is a lengthening of the spine. Every exhale, belly in. Maybe you can go down a little further, giving the hamstrings permission to release, let go a little bit. Relax your face, your jaw. Wide-legged forward bend. Seated wide-legged forward bend. That's right, what have we done wide? We've done wide-legged child's pose. We've done wide leg down dog. And now this is a wide legged seated forward bend. And then on inhale, walk your hands back, bring your legs back to center. You might want to grab a strap for the next one. So let your right leg be long. Take your left foot into the inside of your right thigh. Make sure both feet are flexed. So the left foot needs to be flexed to protect the left knee. Might want to have a strap around the ball of your foot. But again, the goal here, this is Janu Shirshasana. On every inhale, you lengthen up. So lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, begin to move forward, belly in, as if you were going to put your chest on your belly on your thigh, or move your chest toward your foot. So it's not a rounding of the back. It's a flexion at the hip, a stretching of your hamstring. Modify if you feel discomfort in your knee, modify, move it a little bit to see if you can find a place that feels better. Inhale is a lengthen. Exhale is a forward fold. If your hamstrings allow it, once you get as much flexion as you can through the hip, you may round your body and your head and neck. Maybe bring your head to a block. But that doesn't mean you've succeeded in the pose. Just reaching out with a straight spine is great too. You want to protect your low back here by keeping your navel toward the spine, engaging the core. You want as much flexion as possible in the hip, not in the low back. Then inhale, walk your hands back. Lengthen out your left leg. Maybe tap your legs a few times, and we'll try that on the other side. So left leg is straight, toes point straight up. Right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Start by lengthening up. On the inhale, exhale, belly in, chest toward that leg. So it's a slight little turning of your upper body. When you inhale, is always lengthen. Exhale, soften. See what you can find to release on the exhale. Notice where you're feeling this. If it's not a good feeling, modify. Modify till you find a place where the stretch feels good. Do yourself any favors by overstretching or overdoing anything. Stay with your breath. You can consciously think of releasing the muscles on the back of your leg, your hamstrings. Just consciously bringing your awareness right to those muscles and thinking release. And walk your hands back up. Shake your legs out. And I'd like to do a pretzel kind of recovery pose here. So if you have a blanket or a bolster, or you could use your strap actually too, but put the short edge of the blanket together and then roll it up so you end up with a long, long roll. Come over onto your back, and you can modify, you can do something else altogether if you don't have these props, or you can improvise. But you're going to have your legs bent and wrap the long rolled blanket like a pretzel around your legs, and then under your back you're going to have another bolster or blanket or a pillow rolled right from the base of your spine to lie back on. If you need a little more support for your head, you could put another blanket or a block under the blanket. So just take a while to get set up here. And for your feet, you're going to bring the soles of your feet together the way we were when we were doing our starting class, so Baddha Konasana, and the blanket will support them so that you can just release all muscular tension here. You've got support to get a nice opening in your inner thighs. And relaxing back over the bolster right between your shoulder blades allows your chest to be open and supported. Arms come out to the side. And if you get everything set up just right, so it feels good, you can really relax into this and feel an opening. So improvise. If you don't have all these props, just find you could have your legs together with blocks to hold them up, your knees up, or just let gravity push them down. You could have a block under your shoulder blades. So what the goal of this was finding a release in your inner thighs, a release in your chest to stretch. So you have a choice here. I don't know where any of you are in this process, but your choice is to stay right, if you're in the pretzel pose and it feels good, stay there right through Shavasana, which will just give you a little bit of a longer Shavasana. Or you can take any movement or pose that your body is calling for a couple minutes when our authentic, our official Shavasana starts. So there's a lot of flexibility here. You can use this next 5 or 6 minutes till we end Shavasana in any relaxing way that is good for you. So about another minute till we officially start Shavasana. So if you're already there, keep right on. If you want to have a different posture for Shavasana, go ahead and start setting that up. And just remember, Shavasana is a very important posture. It's the place where you can integrate all the things we did during practice, the breathing, the meditation through focus, the asana practice, the body work, your intention. It all has a chance to come together because you're just surrendering in a very comfortable posture requiring minimal effort, surrendering right to the moment, to each breath, safe, comfortable. Not worried about your breathing, just let the body breathe itself. Aware of thoughts, but not attaching, so your mind is calling, but stay out of your mind, lose your mind for a little bit longer, and just have an accepting, general awareness of everything. Now, gently bring your awareness back to the moment, to the space. See yourself where you are. And begin to awaken your body gently, starting with your fingers, your toes, perhaps rocking your head side to side, bringing a little stretch. Then bring your knees into your chest. Come over onto your side. Rest for a few breaths here. Scanning your body, coming back to where we started, but noticing that you're not the same as when you started. Your body's in a different place, your emotions, your mind. Just notice. And then bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Resting your hands on your legs, sitting with a tall, straight spine. Just inhale, press down through your sit bones, up through the crown of your head. Bring your hands, palms together, thumbs at your heart space, and bow gently toward your fingers. Bow to your efforts today, this time you've taken to get to know yourself better, to strengthen your mind, your body, your spirit, to be out of your mind, not crazy, but really wise. Just making the effort to stay out of your thinking mind and in the present moment with your breath, your body sensation. That's hard, and so congratulate yourself for your efforts to do this for a whole hour. And the light in me bows to and honors the very same light in each of you. Namaste. Thanks for coming. When I can't see you right here in front of me, I can't really see that light, but I know it's there and I can feel it. So thanks for coming, and I'll see you back here again next week. Bye.